And you know what? I'm so excited to have you back for the one on the Maturepreneur as well. So super
Cool.
excited to have you
That
both.
will be fun.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Becoming Show. Today is episode 23. And I'm so glad, so grateful that my friend Jannette Anderson is here with me tonight. Jannette is one of the most amazing and my most favorite human being on earth, other than my husband, of course.
I was going to say, other than your husband and your kids, though.
And she's a founder of Maturepreneur. But today, the talk, actually, I'm going to bring her back on a different show on Monday on about money to talk about maturepreneurship. But today, we're going to talk about my why, your why we're put on this earth, and why we do the things that we do. And Jannette is also known as the why whisperer because she helps so many people uncover the deeper reason behind what they do. So today's conversation is going to get real because she's going to coach me live to find out what is my why. And we've been meaning to do this for a long time, but we never got to it. And so today is it. Thank you so much, Annette, for being on my show.
I am so happy to be here. And yep, it's you and me without a wire or a net or whatever. And we'll see what happens. This could be either really fascinating or super boring. But hang in, folks. Hopefully, it'll be the former, not the latter.
I have no doubt we're going to have so much fun no matter what. Yeah. But you know what? Before we dive into the why, actually, please share with me, how did you get to this work that you do?
Well, yeah. I've been, as you know, I've been helping entrepreneurs for the better part of 40, almost 45 years now. I think I came out of the womb entrepreneurial. I came out with a calculator in one hand and a briefcase in the other, which my mom didn't appreciate. But I used it as a way to be able to survive, frankly, and to be able to create what I call a yes life, which I'll talk more about on another show. But part of my journey growing up was very difficult, lots of drama and trauma and violence and addictions and dealing with all sorts of different kinds of hardships. I moved 27 times in the first 29 years of my life. My mom changed my name 5 times. She was married 5 times. We, violence and all sorts of stuff. And so I turned to personal growth work to cope, to deal, to survive in many ways. I did a personal growth program. That's, I think, where I first met you many, many, many decades ago, where I was facilitating personal best growth programs. And one of the things that I really recognized long throughout my life is how important purpose is.
Right.
We are creatures who need meaning. We need to matter. Yeah. My why is that I want you to get that you matter and live like you do. Right. And why is that my why? Because I always wanted to matter. I wanted to get on the damn list.
Yeah.
Never mind the top of the list, Quinn. I just wanted to get on the list. And so that's kind of what I see. That's what my window on the world is that people long to matter. And so the purpose that we have has been something that's been kind of a through thread throughout my life, and something that I know that if we don't have that clarity, that purpose, that meaning, we don't do as well psychologically, emotionally, spiritually, and even in terms of our business. We need it to help differentiate us in a very crowded marketplace. People buy why you do what you do, not what you do, as my friend of the mind, Simon Sinek, says. Mm-hmm. And so our why really, really is useful, helpful, gets us out of bed in the morning, helps us in our business, helps us to know what's next if we're in transition, and truly just gives that sense of value, that we have value and that we add value to the world, which is so critical to being a happy, healthy human being.
And you know what? You do that super well. Because every time I'm around you or other clients or people, your friends are around you, you always make us feel so alive, so important, and that we matter. So thank you for that.
For sure, I'm going to end up crying on this episode.
No, you always make me cry. So hopefully it'll be around sometime.
Maybe it'll be both of us. It'll be a cry fest. And y'all feel free to join in and cry along with us, okay?
All right. And you know what? Before you go into my why, and I'm very excited to find out your process.
Yeah.
But I do realize, because today I was watching a few videos to prepare for this talk, um, and I realized that, my goodness, I have so many, what I used to call strengths and weaknesses,
Mhm.
and we all do. We have that. But now I just realized, and thanks to Simon Sinek, actually,
Yeah.
that he reframed it to that it is neither strength or weakness, because it's all depending on the context, on the
Mhm.
environment that we're in. So my strength in one context could be a weakness,
Mhm.
versus my weakness in another context could be a strength. And
Yeah.
I realized, oh my God, that's amazing. I never
Yes.
realized that until now.
Yeah.
And it is so true. It is so true. So what that means is I have no weakness. Okay,
You're
I'm glad you laughed at that, and you didn't say, Quinn, you have no strength.
no, that's not it. No, but I think that's a lovely place to have taken that. I think that's great. And thank you, by the way, for the compliment earlier. I appreciate that. And I have a different definition and take on why than Simon does. We both think it's super important and critical at our core, but how I see it and approach it is a bit different than he does. And so my definition of your why is the intersection between what you're healing from the past and what you long for the future, for yourself and others. So the intersection of what you're healing from the past and what you long for the future, for yourself and others, I think it's a thread that weaves through the tapestry of our life. It doesn't change. Our why is consistent. How we live into it and express it changes all the time at various ages and stages in our life. But the purpose we come in with doesn't. Now, whether you call it purpose or mission or whatever, those words tend to be quite laden. That's why I often call it your why. And whether you think it's, God-given, or what you're learning this lifetime, or simply a good place to put your stick in the sand, whatever your framing is, that's fine. The point is behind it. Hopefully it helps us be more of who we want to be, do more of what we want to do, have more of what we want to have, and really be the difference that only we can be in the world. Because I think each person has a unique note in the choir, and the choir is not as sweet without your note. So our why helps us do that.
Right. Well, just like we're a piece of the puzzle, and it's not complete until we're in it, right? So
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. Yeah. So our why is, like I said, an intersection between, or from my framing, what we're healing from the past, what we long for the future. And I think it's kind of, it's our what we're exploring, for God or the universe, but it's also often the thing that we most want to solve. So I have a few exercises that we can do to kind of start getting at what your why may be. And those who are watching or listening, feel free to follow along and do it. The thing with your why is it's almost impossible for us to identify for ourselves because it's right on the end of our nose. We can't see it. It's too close, right? I've been doing this for years. I couldn't really, it took me a long time to get clear on my own because I was too close to it. So it really helps to have someone help us kind of pull it back a bit so we can see it. So that's what hopefully we will do tonight. All right.
okay, got it.
Okay. So let's just jump in, do a couple of exercises and see where we go with this. And, studio audience at home, play along. So I write it down, and also, like I said, it's really good to get some support from someone who can, what I call, listen for the longing, because I think that longing is the thread that leads us back to our why the clearest. So, okay, Quinn, if I was to hand you this magic wand through the, teleprompter here, and you could wave it and change one thing about yourself, other people, or the world, what would it be?
Can I choose like all of those three, or just one thing about myself?
One thing. One
Oh,
thing, either about yourself, other people, or the world. Whatever pops to mind first. What's the one thing you would change? By the way, I'm just going to have some wine. So I hope you all are having your wine at home too.
Okay. Funny. I actually want to change about myself, having more clarity and focus because I'm all over the place.
Okay. All right. And if you had more clarity and focus, then what?
If I have more clarity and focus, then I would be able to go deep dive and finish a project and take it to the finish line. I have so many unfinished projects right now.
And if you complete, then what?
If I complete, then I would have something to show for, or at least to hold on to, or to say, okay, that's done. And
Okay.
I don't know if it's good or bad, or how good or how bad, but at least done.
And when things are done, that means what about you? Or if things are undone, that means what about you?
If it's done, it just means that I'm complete and I can move on to some other things, or at least I feel there's no hanging. Whereas right now I'm undone, so
Mhm.
I feel like there's so many unfinished project, and it's kind of like 80% there, but it's not done, and my energy, my focus is it's 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 tiring. It's like I feel drained, even though I'm I feel drained because I don't know where my energy should go. I feel
Yeah.
dispersed. I feel, yeah. So I think one of the things that my husband says is I'm afraid of doing that and a few things. And it's true because I don't know if I should do that, if I should complete that or not. And there's always this fear,
Okay.
something around completing it.
Okay. All right. We'll come back to that. That's great. Great. So good start. So now, if you were going to get on your soapbox and rant about something, so if you were going to rant, what would that be?
Oh,
And by the way, those of you who may be thinking I don't rant, just go ask your friends and family. Yes, you do. They'll tell you whatever it is. So, yeah, no, I see you. Yes, you do. Okay, so what do you rant about, Quinn?
wow. Okay. I I'm glad you said that because I was gonna say I don't rant.
Yeah, I know.
It's like you stop it right in the head. Okay, I guess I do rant about something. Let me just remember. What do I rant about? Um,
Or another way to say that is what pisses you off?
okay. If it is about I think one of the things that I don't, or I rant about, or I don't like, or it pisses me off about world, like life or world, the world in general,
Mhm.
is sometimes it's life isn't fair. Like I can see how some people super nice, um and they get mistreated. They get abused. They get taken advantage of. And then those who are in power, they 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 abuse their power and they get away with it. So that would be something that I would really hate to see, or I'm pissed off about in the world. When I
Okay.
see injustice, when I see something that shouldn't be, yeah.
Okay. This whole thing going on in the US must be making you pretty crazy then. Okay, so let's another approach here is what do you stand for?
Okay. I stand for um I stand for love and compassion and kindness. But I also have to admit I'm such a fraud when it comes to that too. Because I think I'm more accepting and kind to others than to myself. For some reason, I have a double standard. Like for me, I have to be this. Otherwise, I'm worth nothing.
Okay.
And yeah, so I see the double standard, but I don't know how to fix it yet.
Okay, awesome. Okay, you're doing great, and I love how vulnerable you're being, and that takes a tremendous amount of courage. And you have always been very courageous in your willingness to just be real and raw in the world, and I think that's amazing, Quinn. So cool. Okay, what do you stand against? And you kind of said some things, but is there anything else that you're a stand against?
Yeah, so I stand against someone abusing their power to take advantage of other people.
Okay. And is there any particular kind of abuse or taking advantage of that?
Any kind, and because I grew up in Vietnam where the South lost, and that's why I'm in Canada now. We escaped Vietnam by boat, so there's a lot of injustice. There's a lot of corruption, and I'm sure it exists everywhere, not just in Vietnam.
Yeah.
But the thing is, because I grew up in that, and I've heard stories of family members who had gone through such injustice that it became our it's like it's almost like it's something that we want to fight against, but we're so small and powerless that we just have that we can only escape Vietnam, and here we are in Canada, where we have a lot more freedom, a lot more agency. But still, there's still it's not perfect, but it is so much better. And I think if anything, it's just a human to human interaction. And I'm not talking political. I'm talking just human to human, how we
Mhm.
treat each other.
Yeah. Okay. Now we're bouncing around a bit, but we're gonna kind of gestalt it all together at the end, she says optimistically. Okay, so now the other thing is, like I said, I think it's what we're healing from the past. So let's go back to your childhood. And what I encourage you to do is think of 2 or 3 significant events when you were little, ideally as early as you can remember. Not everyone remembers their childhood, but as early as you can remember. And significant might be big, they might have been small, they might have been hugely traumatic, they might have just been difficult for you. But 2 or 3 significant events, I want you to kind of think of 2 or 3 things. Again, the earlier the better. If you can remember back to, 2, 3, 4 in that age range, great. If not, whatever the earliest ones are.
And does it have to be like serious stuff, or just something that I remember that kind of impacted my life?
Impact, and often they're traumatic or difficult, but
Okay.
sometimes they're not. But certainly has a huge impact on who you became and how you acted and believed and became in
Okay.
the world. Now, the little kid at the time may not have known it, but kind of looking back, you look and you go, okay, that was significant. It was
Yeah.
pivotal. It was okay.
Okay.
So do you have 2 or 3 in mind?
I do have one.
Okay.
And maybe the second one is more lighthearted, but the first one I know is it certainly has an impact in my life as I grew up.
So
So
tell me.
I think I was about 7 years old,
Okay.
and in Vietnam, or as a kid, we have a piggy bank,
Yeah.
and every year we would be receiving the New Year's money and birthday money and all that stuff. We put it in the piggy bank, so that's our bank.
Mhm.
And I remember I had a piggy bank, but my piggy bank is a type that is made of porcelain, and it's and there's nothing to take out. So if I want to use it, I would have to break the piggy bank.
Mhm.
And I don't know how on that day, but I was craving for some sweets, candies, and stuff. And I realized this is my piggy bank. Well, it's full, so I shake it, and the coins and the money is in there, and I feel like, okay, let's it's full. Let's break it and let's use it. And I never asked for permission for my mom or anyone to crack the thing open, and I did, and I went and got my cravings fixed. And when I got home, I remember my mom was not happy when I first of all, broke the piggy bank. Now that means that she has to buy me another piggy bank. Secondly, I didn't ask for permission. And I think with my mom, she has, I mean, as much as I know that she takes care of the entire family and we have everything because of her, but I think she has a control issue, as in she has to have to know everything what's happening and we have to do it the way it is. Otherwise, shit will hit the fan kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it often does. It often does. But in this case, I remember I got a spanking, or at least something very close, where I felt like, wait a minute, but this is my money. This is my piggy bank. Why am I being punished to use my own money? So I actually had that. So as I was punished, I forgot how. I realized that this is not fair. This is why am I being punished for something that is mine, that I should be allowed to spend. And so the first thing that I realized with that whole incident is, number one, that I needed to ask permission for everything, otherwise I would be punished. And I didn't like asking permission. In fact, in my entire life, I'm such a rebel. I tend to ask for forgiveness instead of permission. And the second thing is, I want to be able to make decisions on my own without having to ask permission and without having to pay the price of being punished because I don't have the control of my life. So control and money. I kind of grew up wanting to have a lot of money already from that incident. And then I also wanted to have agency of my life and to be able to call my own shots and not having to ask permission from anyone. So I think that kind of stick with me all the way. And with my mom, especially, I usually don't ask permission, and I don't ask and I don't share anything because I'm afraid if I tell her or if I ask her, the answer is no, you cannot do this. And then if that's the case, then I just have to, I don't know what I'll do yet, but at least that means I have to do two things, right? So either lie and do it anyways. In this case, I would just prefer to do it quietly and not ask for permission. And if she finds out, then I'll ask for forgiveness later. But that has been my habit, my pattern as I was growing up.
Okay, awesome. So lots in that, and lots of clarity around some of the things you said earlier about what really pisses you off connected to this. I don't know. Do you see when you were saying earlier, you don't like when people are taken advantage of, when they don't have freedom, when they're abused or made wrong. And this situation, do you see kind of the correlation between those two?
I guess a little bit, although I guess I understand why mom gave me a spanking for that. I can understand it, but still I still feel unjust.
Yeah.
It's my money. Why am I being punished for using my own money?
Yeah, exactly. So, it was unjust. And one of your big things that you're a stand against is injustice.
Yeah.
So it got formed very early at 7. So when you were a little girl, so not the adult looking back now, but when you were that little 7-year-old, do you remember the feeling that you had? Not the thoughts, but the feelings that you had when that happened, when she got mad at you or punished you for using your money? What were the feelings?
I felt powerless. I felt not the word is not I guess injustice, but powerless for sure. I felt powerless. I felt helpless. I felt like I didn't have a say in something that I should have. Yeah.
Right. So these are thoughts. What were the feelings?
Oh, the feeling. Okay. The feeling is well, I definitely felt sad. I thought powerless is a feeling or helpless is a feeling, isn't it?
Yeah. Helpless is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so sad and helpless. And were you angry or were you just sad?
I don't think I was angry as much as just sad and helpless and powerless. Because I wasn't angry.
Yeah.
Because I think at that time I didn't really. Yeah, I wasn't angry, but I was sad.
Yeah. It
I
wasn't
felt,
an emotion.
yeah, I felt injustice, but I was just sad, not angry. Yeah,
Yeah.
in this case.
Okay. And so that was the feeling. What was the story the little girl made up about herself, other people, or the world? So not the adult looking back, but at that time, do you remember? Because you kind of said it, and it could be, but I just want to ask it again in a different way. What's the story that you made up about the world, or about you, or about life, or about what did you decide at that point?
Oh, I decided that I never want to have to be put in a position where I have to ask for permission for money, for anything around like um like asking for money. I want to be able to manage my own and do my own thing and have enough so that I don't have to ask for it from.
Was that really what that little 7-year-old thought? Because she might have, but was that really what she thought, or was that did that come later?
Oh, you know what? I actually don't know, but I know that I've always wanted to have, because I think part of my growing up was uh, my mom never wanted us to eat outside food because number one, it's expensive. Second thing, it's not clean. It's not healthy. It's dirty and all that. But I think I always craved everything outside because I can't if I can't have it, I'll crave it.
Okay.
And so I think I've always wanted to make enough money so I can buy anything I want without having to ask for permission for it. So I
Okay.
think that was part of me growing up.
Okay. So part of what I'm hearing, Quinn, is so the feelings were feelings of being really sad and powerless and helpless, and like it's just not fair. It's my money. I should get to do what I want with my money. Why can't I have what I want? I It's my money. I wanted something sweet. I should be able to have something sweet.
Mm.
And when I was asking you what your stand for, a lot of it is about people um, not being made wrong, not being, you said, oppressed, small and powerless is how you felt in your country. And you don't want people to feel that way, that, your rant is life's not fair.
Yeah.
It wasn't fair that they took your money.
Ah.
And good people, good girls, get abused unfairly and taken advantage of. That's not okay that they took away my power to use my money the way I want. And they abuse power over other people. And it's just not, it's an injustice that's not okay. So it started very early, very authentically, and persists to this day, where you took it, when you take a look now at kind of like the wake behind the boat, how has it impacted you, that belief, that story, that decision that that little girl made, that I never want to have to ask for money, but I am supposed to ask for permission, but I don't want to ask for permission. So the gas and the brake. So I'm
Mm.
just going to do things secretly and be a rebel and not ask for permission. And maybe I'll ask for forgiveness later. Right? How has that played out in your life? What have been some of the prices you've paid for that story?
Pretty much that has been my pattern in terms of like as I grew up in life in like in school. I remember when I was kicked out of pharmacy school, I could not tell my mom that because that would be a sin, or like I number one, I was too ashamed to tell her the truth, but also I think I was afraid of of um of what next. But I didn't want to. But the thing is, I did it all by myself secretly, so I could not share that with anyone. Um, mostly because I was too ashamed. But part of the pattern that I've seen is I wanted to redeem myself before I tell the truth, kind of thing. So it's almost like I wanted to fix this problem first before I told him I broke that thing, right? So I would like I wanted to repair it first before I tell him sorry I broke it or come out with the truth. And
Mhm.
so secrecy and trying to redeem myself, trying to prove myself has been my entire life.
Mhm. Yeah. What what do you long for relative to that? What's the longing there?
Hmm. I think the longing is just to be seen and to be loved no matter what,
Mhm.
without achieving, without accolades, without the things that I'm still seeking for in order to be loved.
Mhm. So to be seen and to be loved just for who you are without having to earn it.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So is that, if you think about it, is that the thing you most want in the world for you? Is there anything that you long for more than that?
You know, I think I have enough of that. Like I have love and I have acceptance in my life.
Mhm.
Like with my family, my husband, even my mom now too, because I think I've come to a not a not a conclusion, but I've come to peace with maybe I'll never make my mom proud. And so I kind of just left it there without having to do anything about it. So I have dropped the ball, that anchor, and just let it do whatever it does. So before I was holding on to that, before I was holding on to, I want to make my mom proud, or at least I want to hear that she's proud of me.
Mhm.
And then I think I've dropped that need or that ball or that anchor, and I don't know where it is. It might be still there. It's just that it's I'm not holding it. It's kind of dropped down on the floor or something.
So besides being just loved and accepted and not having to prove yourself, not having to earn love
Mm.
and respect, is there anything else that is more important to you, or that little girl longed for, or that you long for now?
Well, that is on the longing for, on the in terms of from someone seeking. So I do have that need, that longing. But then on the other side, where I'm an adventure seeker, I
Mhm.
love newness. I love adventure. I love exploring. I love people. I love traveling. I love everything new. Like if you give me two foods that one I love and one I haven't never tasted, I would choose the one that I've never tasted because I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
Whereas the one that I love, I already know I love it. So I can live without that for now. But I want to try the one that I haven't seen yet or haven't tasted yet. Uh,
Yep.
so if anything, I know that on the other flip side, what if you're talking about what I love, what I'm looking for, what I'm pursuing in terms of work, in terms of play, in terms of uh, life, then
Mhm.
it would be to explore, to seek, to what do you call that with the Star Trek? To go to where I've never gone before.
Goal where no one has gone before.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So to explore and to be free to do that,
Yes.
to not have constraints about why are you doing that, or you shouldn't be doing that, or you have obligations, or we don't have money, or whatever the constraints are, right?
Right. Yes.
Free to explore and to not be made wrong for having that curious nature.
Yeah.
There, slightly different variation, but my mom, once we were driving down the road and there was a Jag XJS in front of us car, and beside us was this little rusty Pinto. And I said to my mom, "Oh, I really want one of the Jags." And she said, "Well, why would you want that one? This will get you just to the same place just as well." Now, that was my mom's scarcity, and it created a lot of scarcity, but it was also that whole thing of, why do you want that? Why do you not want this?
Right.
And
Right.
and in that case, it was about the better, the more. But in many cases, people don't understand that whole exploring nature. Like, you are the quintessential curious child who wants to always kind of find out why and what's new and what's out there and what don't I know and what haven't I had. And that can, for people who are not that way, that's very confronting. That's very difficult to deal with. So, okay, so you've had to keep your desires secret most of your life. What you want to do, who you want to be, and you mentioned a few times, I can't tell them. I'll go and ask for forgiveness rather than permission. I'll go and do it, and then if it doesn't work, I'll try and fix it before I tell them. And I have to just go and try it. And if it's sometimes I'm ashamed to tell the truth. What is the impact of that? Kind of keeping that secret, keeping who you are, what you're doing, what you long for, what you care about, what you want, secret.
It's lonely. I feel lonely, even though I'm surrounded by love, but I feel very lonely.
So what's the longing within that?
Someone to get me, and someone to like a cheerleader for me. And even though it's crazy to say this, but I feel like sometimes, like, well, I could be making a mistake for sure, and I have made many. But I feel like I needed to make that mistake to move to the next level, to have the life or the work that I do right now. Because without that experience, I think I would always have doubts, or I would always have these, I wonder if. So if anything, I think this is it. I long for someone to allow me, to give me permission to do whatever, and to be there for me no matter what.
Okay. Yeah. You want someone to allow you to be you and love you no matter what that looks like.
Yeah.
Is that true? Is that in the way that it hits you, or would you say it differently?
It's to have someone to see me and to support me to do the things that I want to do, and to be there for me. Even if I fail, even if things don't work out, I can always come back and feel supported and feel loved and feel loved no matter what.
Yeah. So a lot of times, before I say this, what are you hearing for yourself around what matters to you and your why, and what the thread might be that weaves through the tapestry of your life in terms of some of the things we've been talking about? What's the key thing that you're about this lifetime? Or some of the things you're hearing?
You know what? I think, okay, so this is where I feel like maybe I'm cheating my husband of being this person for me, because he totally supports me in everything I do. Perhaps he may not understand what I do and why I do it, but I know that he will always be there for me. It's just that I don't share what I do to him, because sometimes it's just I don't know what to tell him either. But I feel like uh I'm I think I want to be that for someone else, because I don't have that for me. That person.
Yeah. And what is that? Describe the that. I want to be that. I want to be the what?
I actually it's hard. It's when I got into my head again instead of my heart. I was there,
I
but
know.
I kind of went back into my head. But I think, okay, if I think, then it's not my heart.
Yeah, you got it.
Ah,
That's
okay.
okay. So just take a deep breath. You're doing so great.
Ah,
Take a deep breath, shake it out. Anybody who's, spinning around at home, just take a deep breath. Because this is so close to our heart and so close to that tender little 7-year-old Quinn who was just so confused and sad and hurt by being made wrong for something that was perfectly okay. You wanted your heart desires to be filled. You wanted to have freedom to be and do and have what you wanted. And someone came along and said, no, that's not okay. That's not right. It's not acceptable. And that little girl just went, well, but why not? Why not? I must be something wrong with me. So I'm just going to take that bright, shiny part of me that just wants to explore and have fun and have what I want and be what I want and do what I want. And I'm going to put it away in secret, and I'm going to let her have her way. But I just won't share her with those closest to me because they will make me wrong. And I don't want to be made wrong. I just want to be loved and supported. And so what you long for to be for other people is what?
I want to be the person that empowers and believe. Because sometimes it's weird, but I know that I believe in them more than they believe in themselves. Some of the people that I've worked with, I feel like, wow, why is it that it's so hard for them to see their own potential? And here I am seeing how powerful, how beautiful, how how amazing they are, but they don't see it. And I think, if anything, I I want to be that what do you call that? That spotlight that shines on them,
Mm-hmm.
so that they can see how beautiful, how powerful, how amazing they are, and they can actually pursue their dreams instead of hiding, instead of playing small.
So they can, what's the opposite of playing small for you?
So that they can be and do whatever they want, and actually go for what they truly want, instead of settling, instead of, yeah. So what I really want is to be able to help them discover their best version, what they really want to explore, what they really want to do and try. And even if it's just fun stuff, It doesn't have to be serious stuff. But sometimes I feel like I'm the person that always, in our language, sometimes we call it the troublemaker, the menace, where we just think of crazy things to do. But that crazy thing is so much fun. And it's so freeing. It's so breaking free of all the boundaries, the chains. Yeah.
Okay. So what's more important to you? I'm just going to do a couple of little either ors here for a second. What's more important for you? Is it to be loved or to be free?
Oh, this is so hard. Oh my goodness. Okay. I have to choose one.
Yeah.
To be loved.
Okay. What's more important to you? To be seen or to be heard?
To be seen.
To what's more important to you? To be loved or to be accepted?
Isn't that the same thing? To belong and to be accepted?
No, be loved or to be accepted?
Be loved or be accepted. Be loved.
Okay. What's more important to you? To be celebrated or to be valued?
To be valued.
Okay. What's more important to you? To be valued or to be respected?
To be valued.
Okay. To be trusted or to be trustworthy?
Ooh, what's the difference? Trusted.
Trusted or to be trustworthy?
Don't you have to be okay? So I don't understand. So I have to choose either trusted or trustworthy.
Other people. Trustworthy is you are trustworthy, whether they trust you or not.
Oh, okay. Trustworthy.
Okay. To be free or to be to be, what's the word I'm looking for? To belong or to be just give me a second. There's a nuance here I'm trying to. This isn't quite it, but to belong or to be free?
Both are so important to me. If anything, I want to belong, but to be free to be me in that belonging.
Okay. Self-expressed or accepted?
Self-expressed and accepted. As in, I want to be me, but I want to be accepted for being me.
So of all of these words, trustworthy, loved, belong, seen, valued, free, self-expressed, accepted, which one is the thing you most want for yourself and for other people?
Was loved being part of it?
Yeah. Loved, trustworthy, belong, seen, valued, free, self-expressed, accepted.
I think so. There's two sides. So I want to be loved, but I want to be valued. Like, as in, I want to be of value.
Okay. So valued or to be of value? Which one's more important?
To be of value.
Okay. To be of value. Okay. So awesome. You're doing great. Now we may not get to the end of the thread because what I want, you'll need to sit with it and let it kind of sift in a little bit to find the words, I call it kind of the end of the thread, the words that fit for you. But in all of what we've been talking about, what's the thing that most kind of resonates as, if you were going to say, this is a thing that has mattered my whole life. I've longed for it my whole life. I see it when I look at other people. It's the thing I most wish for more of in the world. What do you think that is?
I think I went into my head, but if anything, the feeling of being loved for who I am
Mm-hmm.
without having to prove anything is the feeling that I want.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And so to prove or to earn.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the bottom line for you. How it gets expressed may shift or be refined or whatever, but the deepest longing that I hear, because we just kind of come at it from a variety of different angles, and we listen for what's the common thread, what's the thing that keeps coming up, what's the thing that has the deepest resonance or the deepest longing behind it. And truly, what I've always heard with you is that deep desire to simply be loved for the incredible, bright, expressive, wildly creative, and curious person that you are, to be celebrated and accepted for your kind of courageousness and willingness to just go out and try things and do things and break things. That's part of your role.
Break things. Yes, I like that part of my role.
It is. The thing with rebels and with those who don't fit in is the black sheep, the rebels, the quote unquote troublemakers you said earlier.
Yeah.
It's our job to break shit.
Including breaking the rules, right? Yes, definitely.
Yeah, starting with the rules and then to break relationships, status quo, standards, what we're trying to achieve, models, all of that, because we are the new wayfinders, because we are the people who learn experientially, because we are the visionaries who don't quite think this fits. And so we try something else. We try the things because this isn't quite it.
Mm.
And how do we get to that is through experimentation. It's through trial and error. But when you've got that as your way of being, as your gift to the world, to create things newly through experimentation, which means most of the things won't work, when that's your job, but you've grown up with a message that you have to get it right, you have to do what's expected, you have to fit in the boxes, and you most of all have to get permission for being, then that creates this dichotomy, this constant push-pull, where you can't be who you really want to be, quite honestly and openly and out in the world. And so you hide who that really is. So what I hear as your calling, and again, the words may shift, but is that you want all those who are hiding, who their true light, to come out from the shadows of approval and trying to get it right and trying to be right, to truly see that they are lovable just as they are. They don't have to earn it. They don't have to prove it. And in fact, their way of being is a gift, even though it gets judged. So your thing is to take those people who are hiding their true selves into the light and say, this deserves to be seen, appreciated, valued, and loved, because it is a gift. You are a gift. That's an incredible purpose. That's an incredible thing to want for others. And we almost always want for others what we want for ourselves the most, right? So your longing is to be loved for who I am without having to prove it or earn it. And so, of course, you want to be the source of that for others because you've got that kind of big heart that wants to be the source of loving them for who they are, as they are, without having to prove it or earn it. And in fact, beyond that, to celebrate that who they are is not what everybody else thinks they should be. That whole piece of permission to be you exactly as you are. Not only permission, but celebration of it.
That sounds so beautiful. And as you were saying these things, I resonate with it so much. But then I keep hearing this. It's like an alarming bell in my head that if I cannot do this for myself yet, can I help other people do that?
Yeah, that's a great question. And yes, sometimes we do it from the outside in.
Oh,
Sometimes we be the source of that which you long for. I think it was Gandhi who said that. Be the source of that which you want more of in the world. So and be the source of that which you want more of in your world. You want more acceptance of yourself, be more accepting of others. You want to love the rebel in you, love the rebels out there. You want to come out of the darkness and stop hiding, give other people permission and encouragement to do that themselves. Sometimes we need to back into doing it for ourselves by doing it for others until we get that, yep, maybe we deserve it just as much as they do.
Yeah.
Right? So, no, if you wait till you're perfect to be a source of love and support for others, we're screwed. We learn by doing. We learn by being that for others. We learn by seeing how much they deserve it and going, well, okay, maybe I do too. And when we do that enough times, it starts to land. So no, you're not going to get it first. And if you wait to go and be the source of that for others until you do, then you're depriving them of the fact that you already get that for them. It's easier out there. So I'm going to read you a poem that is part of this. It kind of speaks to this. It's called Please Note. It's by a spiritual teacher of mine, Gwen Jansma. And it says, please tape this message to your daily looking place. Then read it till you sink it down into the spot worn bare by longing for what never was. Unclench the fist, holding the fantasy that if you breathe just right, you still can make it happen. The message to yourself is this: dear dad or mom, mother, you're not the parent I wanted. The kind of love you gave was not the brand I understood. Now mourn the loss of what you never had. Wail out your orphanhood. Pull out your hair. Curse the unfairness of it all. Your parents' love was for a child who wasn't you. You wanted what they couldn't give, and it's a mismatch you could be the victim of for life, or you can stamp the unpaid score you've kept for years with cancel, 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 and change the note to read, dear me, I am the person I have always wanted. The kind of love I give myself is the type I understand. And that's the way it is. And that's the way it is. So for you, yes, be the source of this for others. And tape that message to your mirror. Dear me, I'm the person I've always wanted. I am the person who gets that I deserve to be loved. For the rebel, breaking shit all the time person who is curious and explores, who is a champion of freedom, who wants to challenge injustice and to make sure that others get how incredible they are. I am the kind of person who believes before they can believe in themselves. I believe in them. And I am the person who believes in me sometimes, and especially when other people don't believe in me. So start being the source of it for others. Keep that commitment to bring others into the light so that they can be celebrated and loved for exactly who they are, exactly how they are, without having to prove or earn that love. That's your purpose, that's your why, that's your mission. However you wordsmith it, that is the core of it. Let that be the thing that pulls you forward in what you do. Let it be your about on your web page. Let it be how you introduce yourself in your speaking. Let it be the thing that gets you out of bed in the morning when you want to go and make a difference. Say, you know what, there's someone out there hiding their uniqueness. Let me go pull them out into the light and remind them how awesome they are. That's your why.
There hasn't been a time when we ever talk seriously and you haven't made me cry. But thank you so much.
Well, and I am touched too by who you are. Yeah. And yeah, I get all squeaky when I cry. I'm touched by your willingness to be so courageous in the face of so much non-acceptance. You still have stayed true to you. That's a lot of integrity. And by the way, the completion thing, when you've spent a lifetime when your value comes from success, if you complete something and it doesn't work, then you won't be loved. So if you don't complete it, you don't risk losing the love. So unhook the two. Completing things doesn't mean that you're going to earn or lose love. It just means that thing's off your plate. Whether it worked or not, that's done. You learned, or you won, or you lost, or whatever, but you learned. Next, right? And the price you're paying for the incompletion is your inability to step up and make the difference that you want to make. That's a big enough price. That's enough of that price. It's not about earning love. It's not about approval. It's not about right, wrong, good, bad. It's about it sucks the energy that you need to be the difference that only you can be, my friend. So get the shit done just so that you can move on to the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. And done could be broken. It could be, it's not the thing I still want to complete, so I'm going to set it aside. Done can look a lot of ways. But hooked by it, that's keeping you from being as big as you really are.
Right. Ooh.
So permission. Permission is your biggest kind of the key word. Permission to be self-expressed, permission to be who you are. But also not just permission, and beyond even encouragement, into the realm of celebration of all of that, including the shadow. So that's a really wonderful thing. People who want to celebrate all of who we are, that's a cool human being. And that's who you are.
I definitely want to be that. Yes.
Nope. You definitely are that. So yes. So here you go. Say after me. I am the person who celebrates all of who you are.
I'm the person who celebrates all of who I am.
Okay. Yes. Now say I'm a person who celebrates all of who you are.
I'm the type of person that celebrates all of who you are.
Yeah. Okay. So the second one was a lot easier. Just practice the first one more. Okay.
Oh, yes.
And it will come with the same ease that the second one did.
Right? Thank you so much.
Good work, my friend. And whether or not, so my why is that I want you to get that you matter and live like you do. That's my nice little pithy thing. it took me a long time to get to that. And by the way, I pushed off of my stand against is the not enough story. Not enough time, not enough money, not enough love. And so I kept trying to go, well, the opposite of not enough is enough. Well, but that didn't light my fire in any way, shape, or form. Look, enough, boring. It took me a long time to get to the opposite of not enough is that you matter, that I matter, and that we live like we do. The piece that when I added that, it clicked. You matter is kind of like, yeah, but we live like we do means that we get it and we're in action on that. And we're being the difference that only we can be. And that's the thing that lights me up. So your version of I bring people out of the shadows so that they can be loved for who they are, or I keep people from hiding behind having to prove themselves so they can simply be loved for who they are. Your version of that is gonna, get massaged until it really lands for you, so you can A, remember it, and B, say it. But it's close. That's close to what it is, or at least it feels like it to me. How does it feel to you?
It feels very close. So like you said, let me massage it.
Yes. And don't massage it from your head in terms of trying to get it right and make it sound good. Wait and listen for your ping. Oh, that landed. That's it. Doesn't matter if it sounds good or not. If it pings for you, that's it. Okay.
And so, you know what? I'll be listening to this talk probably a couple of times before I feel like. And you know what? There was moments in there. I remember when you were saying, I hear it, but I'm like, okay, wait. Let me get it. I'm sure.
And part of that is because you got a whole bunch of hats on right now. You're a podcast host. You're interviewing. You got people watching. And for people who have approval issues, this is an incredibly risky thing for you to do and a very brave thing. So seriously, kudos on that. And so, you're going to bounce back and forth between your head and your heart, perhaps a little more than if we were just doing this together, ourselves. However, there is a real nugget there of who you are and who I've always seen you as, which is that person who brings yourself and others out of hiding and into celebration of who they really are.
I love that. Thank you so much, Jannette.
You are so welcome. And I hope whoever's listening, if you are, do the exercises, if you're struggling with this, I will give Quinn a link for you to book a complimentary. I am charging for them now, but I will, because it's Quinn, give you a link for a complimentary What's My Why session where we do something very similar to this, because it's really hard for us to see and hear and feel our own longing and put words to it and so forth. We're too up in our stuff. You can't read the label from inside the jar. So it gives me great joy to listen for, like you said, I love to believe in people sometimes more than they believe in themselves. I love to see the awesomeness in them sometimes more than they see themselves, even at least initially. So it gives me joy to do this in the world. So I would be happy to offer that for you and your people.
Wow. Thank you so much for that generous gift, because of course it's like the most generous thing to give of your time. So thank you so much, Jannette. I'll put a link so that people can get a hold of you.
Awesome.
Thank you so much. And I will definitely bring you back for a Monday session. So
all right. We'll have a very different conversation then about how to kick ass and how to end ageism through entrepreneurship and how we're not done by a long shot, and how to create living into your purpose through, or your why, through your business. So it's a different conversation, but
different conversation.
And I probably will have wine then too.
Thank you everyone for watching. I'll see you in the next episode. Thank you, Jannette.
Bye everybody.
Bye-bye.